We have to start to learn how to trust that change is good. Change is safe. Change is the evolution in human consciousness.
Everything in the existence is changing, isn't it? The physical existence is constantly changing. The very essence of physical reality is change. Nothing is constant. So if you resist change, you're resisting life.
You see, the evolution in human consciousness is about constantly evolving into new aspects of ourselves, new experiences, new relationships, new everything. But the human is born into a matrix that keeps us controlled, conditioned, and used to being in the same thing. We're used to having the same job. We're used to having the same relationship, right? We like things to be comfortable. We don't like change. But when you start evolving, everything changes all the time. You may have 7 jobs in a year. You may have 10 relationships in a year. Everything is evolving and changing because you are changing, meaning your frequency, your vibration, everything within you is constantly changing. So everything around you is going to constantly change. Change is always happening. But we have been born into a matrix that has kept us literally shackled in a jail cell where we believe that change is scary, that change is bad, that we can't do change. How do I know I'm okay if I constantly am changing? Isn't there something wrong with me constantly changing jobs, constantly changing friendships, constantly changing relationships? We have been conditioned to be condensed and restricted into a jail cell, basically, told what to do, how to be, how the world works. Right? You stay in a job for 40 years, you retire, you have this retirement fund, and off you go. Everything is changing now, literally and energetically. You're breaking free from that jail cell.
When you were young, you were not looking for comfort, you were looking for life. Now you're not looking for life, you're looking for comfort, safety. See, when you were 16, 18, you had wild dreams as to what you want to do with your life. By the time you became 25, you cut down all the frills and thought, this is all not practical, I am becoming practical now. All that happened is you were becoming a coward, but you said, I am becoming practical, and cut down many things and said, if I get a job, if I earn my living, this is okay. By the time you're 35, you're thinking, if I don't get into any trouble, that's enough. But that's when you start getting into trouble. The more security-oriented you are, the more disturbed you will be with every change that happens in your life. See, this moment you're inhaling, next moment you're exhaling, it's change, isn't it? If you don't want change, you stop it. So when you resist change, you must understand you're resisting the very process of life. Not just your life, you're resisting the very fundamental process of life. Invariably, you will invite all kinds of suffering. If you're living and you want to be dead, you will ask for trouble, isn't it? You must be living. When you're living, you must live totally.
And so we have to start to learn how to trust that change is good. Change is safe. Change is the evolution in human consciousness, which means that we are constantly moving into higher frequencies, the body. Everything changes. So right now, you're on the cusp of a change. You're on the cusp of something massive. Because what is waiting for you on the other side is so much more than you can possibly imagine. It will exceed your expectations. I promise you, it will exceed your expectations. More joy, more peace, more love, more abundance, all of it. And the more we allow ourselves to create change and to make change, the more we will trust that every single time our intuitiveness says it's time to change, you won't let those limiting beliefs and emotions pull you back. So if you've been looking for that sign, someone please tell me it's time. It's time. Here's the sign. Yes, go, do it. You've got this. You've got this. Because your guides have been trying to tell you, yes, 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 yes. But there's a lot of fear that comes up. So you're good, you're solid. Have patience, take your time if you need to, baby steps if you need to. But if you've been waiting for a sign, You're good. You got this. Change is part of our human evolution. It's part of all of this. We got to embrace it. And we have to remember that everything that we are receiving within us, that intuitiveness, that hit, that knowingness, it's learning how to trust that over and over and over again. And it's a constant practice. I'm always practicing. How do I trust this? How do I trust this? How do I trust this? Because many times it can feel crazy. What do you mean I'm going to do that? What do you mean that's what I'm being called to do? It can feel crazy. So go for it. Leap, jump, shift, evolve. We're all doing it side by side. You've got this. I love you.